I'm Enigma and I'm a qualified body language analyst and proud investigator, and today we'll be taking a look at one of the most emotional scenes in The Walking Dead, when Merle, after saving Michonne, sacrifices himself to try and kill the governor, who is about to launch an attack on the prison. So, let's take a look. So Merle has his defense mechanism triggered here, and his mouth is wide open to accommodate his increase in respiration rate as he prepares to encounter the governor and his gang. He also performs threat scanning by rapidly moving his head to take in more information about his surroundings as he tries to locate the governor, but as we'll see, Merle makes a fatal mistake later on that will end up resulting in his death. The governor is experiencing a surge of sympathetic arousal here due to his extreme anger and rage, and expresses what's called bruxism, tensing his mouth as he realizes that Merle has betrayed him. They were supposed to meet there to exchange Michonne, but instead he's having to fight walkers. And as Merle locates the group, he immediately performs a lip press and tenses his mouth as a form of emotional suppression. His sympathetic arousal is high and his respiration rate is elevated, but he deliberately restricts his emotional output to stay quiet and avoid being detected. So this is Merle's fatal mistake. He's experiencing hyperfixation. Before locating the governor, he rapidly performs threat scanning, but the moment he finds him, his attention narrows completely onto that single target. And this is a well-established psychological mechanism, where the amygdala prioritizes a perceived threat, and the brain suppresses all unrelated stimuli, creating attentional blind spots. As a result, he completely misses the walker approaching behind him, which ends up in him being captured and killed. It's the same principle why soldiers are trained to keep both eyes open when aiming their weapons, to reduce hyperfixation and maintain awareness of their surroundings.
You're leaving to me!
So again, the governor expresses extreme sympathetic arousal and tenses his mouth, displaying bruxism. Clenching the jaw generates strong proprioceptive feedback, which activates the gate control mechanism in the brain by competing with pain signals traveling through the trigeminal pathway in the brain. And this actually reduces his perception of pain, and acts as a physical outlet for the stress response.
I ain't gonna beg. I ain't begging you.
No.
So the governor does something interesting here. As he chokes Merle, he expresses extreme muscle tension in his face and mouth, before suddenly losing this tension, and turning away. And this is just completely abnormal. His body language suggests hesitation. Merle was one of the few people the governor actually respected and trusted, so he struggles to kill him. And the audio commentary of this episode confirms that he briefly considered keeping Merle alive. And there was a cut line about the governor keeping him alive to watch Daryl die. He may have briefly decided to spare Merle and force his submission, but instead changes his mind and shoots him. Sorry to interrupt, but I have a new Discord, so if you'd like to hang out with me and ask me some questions, then please click the link in the comment section. As Daryl realizes that the walker is his brother, his respiration rate spikes and he immediately enters the freeze response. His amygdala recognizes the threat and its emotional significance before his prefrontal cortex has time to process the implications of what he's seeing. His brain enters this defensive state to buy him time to assess the situation, with the basal ganglia system restricting his motor output. So this is extremely sad. Daryl is not only devastated here, but is visibly terrified by what he's seeing. He changes his proxemics and physically distances himself from his dead brother, expressing the flight response, as his brain attempts to escape the overwhelming emotional stimulus. His amygdala is driving extreme sympathetic arousal, whilst his cognitive processing struggles to integrate the reality of the situation. He is caught between the urge to flee and an intense emotional response, showing a state of shock, grief, and autonomic overload. He isn't just upset, he's scared. So after Merle's walker continues coming at him, despite being pushed away, Daryl abruptly shifts into the fight response and violently attacks him. His amygdala realizes that flight isn't an option, so it defaults to the fight response. This isn't about self-defense, as he could simply walk away, but about resolving the stressor, which is his zombified brother. The only way for his brain to resolve the stressor is to fight, which he reluctantly does, blinded by extreme emotional arousal. So as Daryl puts Merle down and removes the threat, he immediately performs a grounding behavior, producing proprioceptive feedback which helps him downregulate. He immediately focuses on internal emotional processing, so the brain cuts all non-essential processing, including balance, which is why he falls down. He is so overcome with emotion, and it's just completely devastating. It's an incredibly acted and detailed scene.